everyone. I think we can start. There's enough for you for the first session of the second day of the Blend 2025 conference. Today we have Ewan Dunbar with us from Stage 32, and he's going to present to you what it is and who is it for to start. So, Ewan, welcome.
Hi, thanks very much for having me. So, for those of you who don't know, Stage 32 is it's an online platform for filmmakers by filmmakers to provide this amazing community. So there's a community aspect to it. There's also a development services element to it, and also there's a huge education component to it as well. So with the community element, Forbes described it as the LinkedIn of the entertainment industry, and it's been going for nearly 15 years now and has over 1 million members worldwide. So that's all across the States, Europe, all over the world. And something that's been happening recently has been there's now such a huge surge in production, and in that space there's now a huge need for trained crews, not just in the States, but worldwide. Production has now just moved so far across the world. You know, used to be years ago that you would either have to live in LA, Vancouver, Toronto, London, or one of these places to really be able to have a consistent career in the industry. And now there's so many opportunities all over the world, and that's where Stage 32 has helped come in to help build this community. And it's not just for people already working in the industry, it's people who want to start in the industry. And that's one great thing that the first part of Stage 32, the community, is so great at, because there's online discussions, there's different lounges to talk about different topics. It's very well curated to make sure that it's a brilliant, positive space where someone who has worked in the industry for a while but wants to learn more about a different aspect, they can ask a question. And if you're someone who's not even in the industry yet and wanting to consider it as a career option, they can come in and ask questions as well, and you'll be answered by people in similar situations, people who are already established in the business, to get some amazing advice and help and have this fantastic space. Because as the saying goes, the rising tide lifts all ships. So this is a platform where the objective is to help everyone in the industry, be it someone who is already established in there or someone who's looking to break in. And then that's where some of the development services stuff comes in handy as well, because my primary job is I'm a producer specializing in the development part of the process. So in the development services side of Stage 32, you can seek help and advice, be it on scripts, treatments, pitching materials, and you can ask advice from people who are working in the industry. You can have an executive from London or LA or New York read your work, and from the executives that are working with Stage 32, you can choose who you want to work with. So if you are working on a horror project, you can look online, see who from that side of the industry is taking development sessions, and you can get direct, helpful advice from them on your work. And so that's an amazing thing that Stage 32 can provide for people, again, at any level that you are in the industry. Sometimes you look at work from someone where they just want to figure out, how do I communicate my ideas to the industry? How do I communicate my vision to executives who are working at streamers, local broadcasters, independent production companies as well? And that's also where you can also utilize the education aspect of Stage 32. So I think it's one of the largest libraries in the world. There's over 3,000 hours of material from everything from creative, so writing, directing, also on-set work. So there's courses on assistant directing, producing, production management, and also for for production office work. So there's courses on production accounting, production management, and within the education side of Stage 32, that's also where they launched nearly 2 years ago the certification side of the company. So with Stage 32 certification, you can sign up for courses which are taught by industry veterans from all over the world, and you can get certification in all these disciplines like production accounting, script supervision. There's one of the leading law firms in Beverly Hills is teaching courses on the legal materials that you need to provide when you're doing either a short film, permissions, agreements with actors, distribution agreements, co-production agreements, international co-production agreements, and that's all taught by lawyers in one of the top firms in Beverly Hills. And you can, so if you are looking to specialize in one of these fields, to get more training in one of these areas, or if you're there's a PA, production assistant course run by members of the Directors Guild of America, run by assistant directors who work there, to learn what it is to be a PA if you're looking for your first job, or if you're already a PA looking to move up into assistant directing. Assistant directors are there to teach you how to work as a third AD, second AD, second AD, or first AD on a shoot as well. So,
sorry, are those live sessions or they're recorded, or how does the education part work?
So most of it's live sessions. There's a big library of recorded sessions as well, but a lot of it's live sessions where you'll be working with people in the industry to learn these disciplines. And then once you are certified, once you've passed your certification course, you'll also be on a database that's available online for different film commissions to see who in my area is trained as a production accountant, production manager, script supervisor, and who can we bring on in local talent to our production.
So to summarize, you can join the platform without enrolling in any of the certification, contact people, find like-minded people, discuss stuff. You can get certification, then you can kind of see a list of people in your area if you're looking for someone to employ or if you want to be employed.
Yeah, so to sign on to Stage 32, there's no obligation. It's just like signing on to LinkedIn. It takes you about 5 minutes to create an account, put up a profile of yourself to say who you are, what you do, and you can go straight into the community aspect. You can take part in lounges to discuss different topics as well, and find peers in your position. And some people have formed local groups through Stage 32 for local talent as well.
So when you complete the certification, like there's obviously different programs, where can it be used? Is the film industry, has it recognized it already?
Yeah, so there's the certification team have run programs. It's all available online, so you can access it anywhere in the world. Obviously, there are different requirements in different places in the world. So sometimes when they're running a location-specific course, they can tailor it more to local requirements. But they run specific courses in Atlanta, in Dallas, in South Africa, in Poland as well, because some of the key skills that you'll need in the industry, like if you're doing your delivery paperwork or locations paperwork or whatever, there will be local specific requirements, but the general principles are usually the same. Like also if you're delivering materials like your legal deliverables or your project deliverables, there will still be local nuances, and that's something that Stage 32 looks into on some of these more location specific, but the general principles are the same. And there's some courses which are specifically for working in TV, some of them more specific for film. Like if you're doing a legal delivery for a streamer, it might be different requirements than to a local broadcaster, and if you're doing something in Europe, the legal deliverables tend to be far more straightforward than delivering to the US. Their legal deliverables list is sometimes completely mind-boggling, but the general principles tend to be the same, and that's where you can get a really strong base education from somewhere like Stage 32.
Thank you. And are you already working with some of the Croatian filmmakers? Do you have any experience with them?
So the Stage 32 community in Croatia, there's I think just under 1,000 members.
That's a lot.
From Croatia at the moment, and that's grown from some of the talks that Sam did last year, and it's something which is growing all over the world. And I think now that there's so much accessibility to materials like this, and now productions are looking for where there's going to be, some of the bigger companies, even if they have a lot of money, they're still looking for where can I film that has the amazing locations and the crews
Croatia
locally. And
obviously.
I mean, we've all seen your wonderful home in TV and movies for years now, and it's something which you're seeing across a lot of Europe now, where some of these big companies, where they rely on subscription models, their home market in the US is now almost completely saturated. They can't get new subscribers, and when you think about their business model, they don't make money from minutes watched, they make it from subscribers per month. So they want to expand into the rest of the world, and that's where a few years ago you started seeing streamers looking to make more local content, and that's where places like the Scandinavian countries really put their flag in the ground with their crime dramas, which
Nordic noir, yeah.
Nordic noir, exactly, yeah. So, and that was a place where they realised, no, we don't just want to import projects from the US anymore. We want our own stories. Shows like Borgen. Who knew Danish politics would be so interesting? I didn't know until we watched that. And something that you've been hearing over the last few years is the phrase "local is global." So sometimes if you have these universal stories that are being told from different perspectives in different parts of the world, but you can still connect to it as an audience member, it still resonates with you. And that's where some of the Nordic dramas became so popular, and now we've started seeing France exporting more to English-speaking territories, and Belgium as well, with shows like Salamander starting to go around. And now you have companies like Sky Showtime have formed a company where they're looking at different places in Europe to nurture local productions for local audiences, and setting up an infrastructure for if there is a breakout hit like The Killing or The Bridge or Borgen or whatever, they have an infrastructure to share that with a massive audience all across Europe as well. So that's something that people are starting to look at more and more, is where can we find these local breakout hits? And a big step in that is having local talent, local crew, being able to team up together and say, we want to tell our own stories as well.
So there's a lot of young people here. If you were a student now, what would be your start? Where would you start with if you get on the platform Stage 32? Would you go straight to certification, or just kind of mingle around and talk to more experienced people? What would be the way to go through it if you're just starting out?
I think if I was just starting out now and had a resource like Stage 32, the best thing you can do is just take part in the community. So I think it's every month, they run an introduce yourself weekend where everybody from all walks in the industry, people starting out, people already established, saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, this is what I do, this is what I'm seeing in the business, or I'm just starting out in the industry. Where do I begin? It's such a, when you start out in the industry, one of the first things you do is go like this. This is huge. So it's, having a resource like this is somewhere where you can, like I say, it's very well curated, so it's very much a safe space for anybody to ask any question that they want about it. And sometimes it could be, hey, I'm just starting out and I want to specialize in this department. What would be a great route for me to take? What can I do to educate myself? Like I say, there's in certification courses, there's a production assistant course where you're learning, okay, these are the basics. There's courses on how does it work on a film set on your very first shoot. Sometimes if you're doing a short film where everybody's doing every job and you go on to, say, a Hollywood shoot, it can just be such an overload that you think, where do I start in all of this? So
what do you think? Is it better to specialize early or just to try different roles and then decide and specialize?
I think if you know what you want to do, you can go, okay, what is it that I want to do and how do I get there? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, there's a script supervisor certification course on Stage 32, and as a script supervisor, your job is you're sitting next to the camera, next to the director, and you get to see their jobs up close as well. So a lot of script supervisors have gone on to direct because they are able to watch that craft close up. Or if you want to be an assistant director. So I started off as a runner, as a production assistant when I started out in the industry. And from that position, I learned, I kind of enjoy the assistant directing side of it. So I worked up through different roles of assistant director into production management, into a producer, and then you never know where your journey is going to take you. So then I worked in international acquisitions, sales, and distribution for a long time, where I learned a lot about the business, not just that side, but I learned more about the finance side as well. And now with the rise of the need to get involved in projects earlier on, I ended up going back into the development side, and now that's why I'm a development producer, but it means that I can look at it from practicalities of how a film set is run, because I've run film sets, and also how a project looks on the international marketplace as well as the domestic marketplace as well, because I've had that experience too. So by learning about different aspects of the business, you can really enrich your own education in ways that you didn't expect. Like I know a lot of directors sometimes go to acting or improv classes to see what life is like for the actors that they want to direct firsthand as well. So I think that's where you can really use a community like Stage 32, is by looking at the whole tapestry of what makes a film crew. You know, it takes a village to make these things happen, and you can learn from people doing this job or doing all these different roles about what life is like, and help you make your decisions about where you want to take your next step.
So basically, a platform like this has enabled people to not have to move to London or Hollywood if they want to do this job at a higher level. So because there's productions coming here now, and you can learn and contact professionals from all over the world and from the major centers of the industry like Hollywood and London, from anywhere in the world basically.
Yeah, exactly. And through, like I say, on these certification courses where you have the option to join a database where you can be visible to local film commissions to show, okay, this production needs a production accountant. Do we have someone local that we can use for that and bring in for a job interview? It's going to be very helpful for productions as well, because it means that across Europe there's all these different incentives, rebates, tax incentives that production companies can use. But if you're having to fly over all of your crew, including your production accountants and and those guys over, the production is able to take less advantage of some of these local schemes to help bring business to them. So it means that these productions will be able to utilize local talent to fill all of these roles, which benefits them and it benefits the local filmmaking community.
And it's a two-way. It works two ways. So you can ask for a job and you get a job through the platform.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
just to advertise yourself or your project.
Yeah, it's like whenever you get a qualification or whatever. Like if you've trained up to be a lawyer at one of the top universities and you don't tell anybody about it, no one's going to be calling you, and you can sit by the phone for a very long time without it ringing. So this is another way, like LinkedIn, like your own social media, where you can say, hey, I've been certified in this, I have this qualification, I now have this skill set. Like if you want to move from being a PA through AD department or to a production manager, you can get certified, and then you can say on the platform or on your own social media as well that I'm now certified in this discipline and I'm available for work as well. And I think it's something where some countries do a good job on saying that a certain amount of the budget needs to be allocated to training new talent, bringing on trainees onto the shoot, but not many countries have these kinds of schemes, and training someone on the job is now in a time where production budgets are so squeezed. That's something that a lot of productions aren't investing their money into. So if you can become educated yourself and say, hey, I am bringing this to the table, I now have a certification in production accounting or production management or script supervision, then you can advertise yourself as saying, I'm here and I'm available to work.
Mm-hmm. Do you think using this platform to get educated and to get a certification, do you think it should complement formal education, or can you just skip the whole formal thing and just go straight to stage 32, get a certification and go and work? Or is it complementary?
I think it's something, I think you can do either. I think, so I went to sort of a fairly normal film school background, but the most learning I did was getting onto film sets as often as possible. Resources like this weren't available when I was starting out in the industry. And so I think you can, if you're, say, at film school or you're learning a technical discipline, some people on Stage 32 have had their lives and had their careers and they want to do something different. So they're starting to train up in these disciplines. Some of the writers that I've worked with on Stage 32 have very little in the way of formal education in how to write a screenplay, how to prepare your pitch deck for a TV show to show off what your whole show is going to look like, not just your pilot episode. There's lots of people where if there aren't opportunities to learn some of these things locally, they can. That's the great thing about the world being online now, that you can go online and train these disciplines as well. Mm-hmm. So you can use it for both. And there's projects where people have gone through the development or the education side and found executives who really like their work and then say, let me help you get this movie made. And so there'll be movies that have been made through connections made on Stage 32.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you're a student or someone who's aspiring to get in the industry, you have 1 hour a day. Would you recommend to them to watch films, do some networking, or learn online? What's the best way to spend an hour?
Yes.
Yes. All of the above.
To
get
all of
3
the
hours.
Above.
That's
to all of the above. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's a job where if every day isn't a learning day, you're not doing it right. Mm. Throughout your careers, you will still have things that surprise you, that take you off guard, or you end up in a situation where you go, oh, actually, hang on, because of something that happened 10 years ago, I know exactly how to deal with this. So I think it's something where you can really, if you sort of upskill, you can use it to upskill yourself. So make yourself more valuable to people that are hiring film crews. You can also, there's some groups on Stage 32 where they've created local meetups, either once every month or 2 or 3, to strengthen their local filmmaking community as well. And that's always valuable because, like I said earlier, it's no good being qualified in something unless you tell people about it. So absolutely getting out there, networking, coming to places like this, going to film festivals, even if it's a small local film festival. You don't have to go to the big film festivals to find a filmmaking community as well. So yeah, always try and educate yourself, always try and put yourself out there, be it online, be it at film festivals. Obviously it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, but if you love what you do, then it ends up being a great joy to do this. You'll make great friends and colleagues that you'll work with for the rest of your life as well.
Nice. What's harder, getting your first job or your second job?
Probably first.
First.
I'd say first. Unless you have connections to the film industry, it's definitely hard to break in. When I started, I had no connections at all, and so the best thing I did for myself was, I'm sure my lecturers at film school didn't think it was the best thing that I did. Try to get onto film sets instead of writing my dissertation. Right, stay in school. It's good. Film school's good, but I was trying to get practical experience as well, and so I made connections on film sets, and also when I was at film school learning, and also when I was attending other events to learn and grow my knowledge, I've met with people who I've gone on to work with for many years on film crews, at film school, and at other festivals and other places where you enhance your education as well.
That's probably the best combination, to do the online thing and to get onto film sets and the physical place where it's being done. It's not the same. You can learn a lot online, but there's this probably, I don't know how many percent, that you have to physically experience on the film set.
Oh yeah, and
in 3D, you know.
Yeah, your first film shoot will be. I assume it's the same for everybody. It certainly was for me. It was definitely a baptism of fire.
What was your first film set?
My first film set, it was
first big one.
It was a film called Chat Room, and it was starring Aaron Johnson, as he was there, Aaron Taylor Johnson now. He was very young and not well known back then, and it was directed by Hideo Nakata, who did the original version of The Ring. And I was a trainee in the assistant directing department, and yeah, you walk on set, you have the initial terror of I have no idea what's happening. This was one of the oldest film studio and well-known film studios in the UK as well. And then you go, okay, right, I guess I need to, instead of floating in the water, I need to get swimming.
Yeah, because on a film set, people will tell you what you need to do, but they forget to tell you what you should not do, and that's where you make mistakes.
Yeah, that's where
you shouldn't walk here, you shouldn't talk at this time, and stuff like that. That's probably
yeah, absolutely
good to know what not to do on a film set.
Stay out of actors' eye line during shots, but that's one thing where a resource like Stage 32 is really good, because it means that you get, like I say, with the assistant directing courses and the production assisting courses, it's taught by Directors Guild of America recognized assistant directors. So they will go through, okay, you know the Hollywood stuff, you've read the biographies of all these great filmmakers, now this is how it actually works on the ground, and they can give you wisdom from their own experience. So when you do go onto your first film shoot or your second or whatever, you'll have much more knowledge to make sure that you're an absolute asset to to their team. I remember on that very first film shoot, I was like, it was a nightmare to commute to it. It wasn't local to me, so I was getting up at crazy o'clock in the morning and getting home at crazy o'clock at night. But I wanted to make sure that I could be as valuable as I possibly could. I was only meant to be there for a week. And the second AD called me into his office on my last day with a very thick Cockney accent, which I won't repeat, saying, you know, you're a hard worker, what are you doing for the next few weeks? I haven't got anything planned. He's like, all right, great, come back on Monday. So that's the value of actively participating in these things, and also doing the work and making sure that you're always educating yourself. You become valuable, you can be a far more active participant in these things as well. And that's why education courses like this can be so valuable to not only people who are already in the industry looking to upskill themselves, but also people looking to break into it as well.
Okay, one more question. Is there levels of learning a specific skill on the platform, or is the course like a full thing, so you take your time and work through it as it scales up or something?
Yeah, so there's different levels on there. So there's individual webinars that you can take. There was an excellent one taught by Chris McEstay at Netflix, who did I think it was about a 3-hour webinar on how to make your pitch deck for a TV show specifically targeted for a streamer. And that was something where people who were just breaking into the industry were signing on to that one, but also industry veterans. I was already doing some teaching work on Stage 32 at that point, but people who I know who have been in the industry for 40 years or more were signing on to watch these webinars as well. So there's webinars, there's labs where you get one-to-one tuition, or where you get in small classes, you get direct access to someone teaching various things, be that creative or practical or production office or shooting skills. And there's the certification courses where you can get certified in some of these disciplines. And there's also master certification, which goes into much greater detail on these things. So you can tailor it to what you want it to be for you, and learn at that rate that you want to as well.
Is there homework?
Depends on the course. I've run a couple of courses on creating pitch decks for streamers, because I've very fortunately worked with one of the streamers on a show, and learning how they work internally was an eye-opener for me, and so I wanted to bring that experience to the community as well. And so I try not to do too much homework on my course. There's a little homework, but not too much. So it depends on who's teaching the course, how much homework they do. But also these guys are people who are working in the industry as their day job as well. So
Yeah, but you get certified after you complete a course. You complete it by answering some questions, or there's a process.
Yeah, so once you've passed your certification, that will be run by the course, and then you enter your database where local film commissions can find you and see who in their region is certified in what disciplines as well.
Yeah. Okay. So for people watching, maybe afterwards, if this is recorded, where do they start? They go online. They type in stage32.com.
Yep. So it's stage32.com, and you can sign it. You can create an account, put up your profile.
Any discount for our members here?
Yeah. So signing up onto Stage 32 is free, but also if you want to do one of the certification courses, there's a discount for people who are present in this room or watching online as well. The discount code is Croatia CERT 50, so Croatia CERT 50, and that's 50% off your first course that you can use online as well. And there's going to be a follow-up webinar on Stage 32 from this talk, run by Sam and David, who run the certification course, to tell you more about it as well.
Nice, thank you. Are there any questions from the audience for Ewan?
No questions, but I would like to say something.
Sure.
If I may.
Go for it.
Okay. My name is Vlada Vukalovic. I'm director of Philosoph University Varaždin, and we just have a contract now with the Stage 33, for a location manager's certification course. So it's actually a course of 4 hours. It's e-learning course, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's online.
Coming pretty late, but we have an open call now. If anybody is from Varaždin County, you can apply, because we have a free course for free people. So afterwards, they get certified as location managers, and we have also film commission. So basically, how do these people afterwards get into the film industry as location managers? What do you suggest?
That's great that you're already working with Stage 32. That's fantastic to hear. So yeah, I don't know if you're here for the part of the talk where I was saying once you're no worries. It's the first talk of the day, so people are coming in at different times. But you can be put onto a database for local film, which local film commissioners can look at to see who do we have locally that do these jobs. Like we want to hire a local production accountant, location manager, like you said. So that's one of the certification courses that's run on Stage 32 is there's also location scouting course as well, location management course. And so you'll be put onto the database as well. So when people are looking for hiring local crews, they can say, okay, these are the people in your local area that's certified in these different disciplines for you to call up and say, hey, are you available? Let's have a talk and see if we can work together.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yes.
What about other creative industry like gaming, animations? Are they Stage 32 interested in others or just for movies?
So great question. So there's movies and TV. There's people who talk about animation on there as well. Some of the lounges they talk about gaming industry as well. And I think because the people who run Stage 32, so Rich Botto RB, who runs it, he's also very active in the community side of it as well. And so if there are specific things, so if there's specific topics that you want people from the gaming industry who are part of the community to talk about, then they're very good at listening. So they'll say, okay, there's a demand for more people talking about either gaming in general or certain parts of gaming as well, and they're very good at finding people in those places to come and talk and run education courses on that as well. But yeah, there's multimedia, there's gaming, there's writing, there's sound design, composing, lots of different disciplines on there as well.
Okay, thank you. More questions? Someone? Okay, if that's it, I want to thank Ewan for being here, for presenting the platform, and hope to see you all on Stage 32 in the future. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.